Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. As you can see from the thumbnail, we're gonna check out Kissing the Coronavirus. Oh my god, I can't take this book seriously. Okay, so last month, on January, my readings have been super serious. But this month of February, I wanted to take things a little bit less serious. So I remembered 2 years ago, I think in the early pandemic, there's a certain interesting form of fiction that is sold on Amazon. And it's like $1 or something. And it's called Kissing the Coronavirus by MJ Edwards. I found out the existence of this book through Amanda the Jedi. By the way, she makes a really interesting read of this book. So I can't stop laughing. I haven't read this yet. So you guys are gonna read this with me and we're gonna see how ridiculous it gets. I'm already laughing because I remembered some bits and pieces of the review from Amanda and it was so hilarious. Oh my god. I haven't started reading, I swear. And the reason why I wanted to do this as a reading vlog is because the book is in I have 15 pages. So we're gonna see. I understand that lockdown and COVID make people lose their minds, but not this level of losing their minds. There's actually a novel where people sexualizes the coronavirus. Seriously. So this novel was self-published on Amazon, and if you don't know, yes, you can self-publish on Amazon. And I'm not sure how exactly does it work, but there are a lot of YouTube videos that explain how it works. So if you want to be a writer and you just want to skip the whole rejection and finding publishing companies after publishing companies, so you can probably try Amazon. But of course, at the same time, please don't skip all the other necessary steps like professional editing, because you can find freelance editors to do it for you. So anyway, MJ Edwards self-published this on Amazon, and you can, if you want to buy this book, it's available on Amazon. If you feel like you want to have a good laugh, this is definitely for you. I listened to the review and I had a good laugh, so this time I want to switch off my brain and have a good laugh on my own. So let's see. All right, Kissing the Coronavirus. She was supposed to cure the coronavirus. Instead, she fell in love with it. Okay. So we follow our character, Dr. Alexa Ashingtonford. What happened to normal names? If it's not obvious already, this book is actually kind of an erotica. So yeah, but I wouldn't call this the good kind at all. This is terrible. Excuse me, what? Okay, so the beginning, this happens in the first 2 paragraphs of the story, okay? We're introduced to Dr. Alexa, which is our main character. Dr. Alexa stared at the test tube between her fingers, her perfectly pink manicured nails clashing with the pale, bubbling liquid inside. She recognized the power she had in her grip, the virus which had claimed so many lives and which made her heart beat furiously like a wild tiger thrashing in its cage. The coronavirus. Despite the devastation the virus was causing across the globe, Alexa felt a rush of excitement every time she picked up the corona sample, like a pulsating, erect. It's been so long since Alexa had been with a man that the virus was the only thing she could get near to, which gave her any sort of thrill. You get turned on by that?
I am disgusted.
You have problem, lady. So, and then goes on to
What?
She puts the test tube in there, if you know what I mean. So, alright, so as she was feeling the coronavirus, her boss, Dr. Gertlichand, and then her boss walked in, alright? And she described Dr. Gertlichand as small and had a funny mustache. But after having been stuck in a lab with him for so long, so deprived of the feeling of a hot man inside of her, she had even considered asking him if he'd be interested in a quick bit of sex to help her get over her infatuation, so she could get on searching for the cure. Apparently, in the whole wide world, only 2 scientists is working on finding a cure to coronavirus, and one of them is really horny. So initially there were 4 people inside the lab, but 2 others succumbed to the virus, but none of them thought of finding a replacement, and you're just leaving these 2 people. Okay. Excuse me? And so Dr. Gertlichand became more determined. So determined, in fact, that he had stopped listening to reason, and because Alexa had huge boobies and a thick because the sentence is just all over the place. This sentence is supposed to go, and so Dr. Gertlichand became more determined. So determined, in fact, that he had stopped listening to reason. And even with Alexa's huge boobies and thick ass, he still overlook her. Okay. She loved beards, and a mustache was the only start of a beard. Like micro penises are just the start of real penises. You need the rest of it for it to be really, truly meaningful. Like, yeah, this is a sentence that I'll never probably erase in my entire life. Apparently, Alexa is like imagining what the COVID-19 looks like as a human, because it says here when she looked at Dr. Gertlichand, he smiled and his mustache curled upward, accentuating the beardlessness of his face. If only he had a beard and was taller and had a big C and was handsome and made her wet, like COVID-19. I love how much MJ Edwards is like putting just all these really vague words to make the lab situation seem very sciencey. We all know she doesn't know shit. So they actually have a slim chance on finding the cure, right? And then the only thing that she's excited about for that was that finally she would know what it felt like to grasp a chicken in her hands again. The creamy liquid bubbled and popped like a fresh bowl of Rice Krispies. Like the COVID-19 bubbled up like some potion in a witch's cauldron. Even the sounds of the virus made her ovaries clash together like cymbals. It was so powerful, so strong, so deadly. What? She was one of the best scientists around? How can one of the best scientists... So they have a vaccine, but they haven't had a trial yet. So, but there wasn't enough COVID-19. But there... and then it turns out that Dr. Bob has COVID. So he decides to test it on himself, the vaccine with that 1 drop of COVID. And then he collapsed. For some reason, the lights flashed, wind whipped around the lab, lashing Alexa's hair back and forth and shaking her ample breasts. There was lots of sounds and shaking, and Alexa's heart hammered harder than the time she was hammered by the carpet fitter. Okay. Alexa edged back, pushing back until her back pushed. What? What sentence is this? So, the coronavirus, putting the vaccine of the corona will have that effect on your environment. I mean, I just got booster 3 weeks ago. I wonder why aren't there any lights flashing when I got it? When he finally came to, it's no longer Dr. Gertlichand. A hand clamped down on the workspace. It looked like a normal hand, except it was green. So Shrek? There was a low groan. almost like a growl, which deepened and became a roar. A guttural, animalistic roar, so strong and powerful. It makes Alexa's shudder with anticipation. Then, one detail at a time, Dr. Gurtlechan stood from behind the workspace to reveal himself as the Incredible Hulk. No. His strong brow, piercing blue eyes, supple lips, a wide jaw like the trunk, bulky thick shoulders, a flat stomach, a bulge in his trousers the size of a medium. His thighs obliterated his pants, his muscle poking out like cheeky kitten. All of him was green, and he was covered in small green bumps, which sciencey people like Alexa called spike proteins. Are you in there, Dr. Gurtlechan? Bob? No, said the enormous green man. He was at least a meter taller than Dr. Gurtlechan has been. How tall was Dr. Gurtlechan? It was like, what? And almost twice as wide. What happened to Dr. Gurtlechan? I consumed him. So Dr. Gurtlechan had the virus, and there were traces of virus in the vaccine, and adding them together create this humanoid COVID-19. And apparently, Alexa is immune to the virus. Apparently she already had the virus without she's knowing, but since she's asymptomatic, and it means that Dr. Gurtlechan was infected because of her. What's your name? She asked. Call me COVID. Why? Out of all the things that you can sexualize in this world, why the coronavirus? Oh my god. There was something about being wrapped in his arms. She should have felt scared, but instead she felt safe. She looked up at him. His eyes were striking, like a goat's, but without the sideways pupils. His lips so close she could taste them. His tongue so soft and hot, like a chunk of microwaved fish sloshing around inside her mouth. Oh my god. So they do it. I'm not gonna describe it for you, but yeah, they do it. As COVID wrapped her up in his arms, like she was filling in a burrito, she realized that she never wanted to be a part of him. She wanted to spend eternity encased in his warming warmth. Was this love? Alexa and COVID remained in their embracing. English is my second language, but I definitely know there's embrace is bad. Barely able to take their eyes away from one another. Gone were Alexa's worries. No more did she mourn Dr. Gurtlechan and allowed herself to succumb to COVID's charm. She had ignored love. She lay still and listened to COVID's heart, and she closed her eyes and she rested. Oh, I'm so glad I'm done with this. So, we're gonna look into about the author. MJ Edwards. During the coronavirus pandemic of 2020, MJ Edwards turned her hand to writing, combining the two biggest parts of her life at that moment, the virus and sex. She hopes that you enjoyed this book. Any similarities to real life situations are purely coincidental. She lives in Surrey with her husband and 19 ferrets. Apparently she was made redundant at her job, so I'm just happy that she get to support her life and ferrets. Good for you, MJ Edwards. There's actually 4 books in this series, but I only have 3. I have no words, guys. I don't know what's next coming in this universe. I don't know how long MJ Edwards want to continue with this whole MCU, but am I gonna check out more? No, I think I don't want to burn my brain cells anymore than I already have. So, but I'm glad for the how can I say this? I'm glad for the relief. After all the serious books that I read in January, I'm glad to have a good laugh and turn my brain cells off, or in this case, actually burning my brain cells. So, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. And stay safe and don't sexualize viruses. Okay, bye.